really do. You're a 21-year-old punk fucking kid. Grandpa's given you everything all your fucking life. You've never had a car payment, a house payment. Everything you live in was given to you by Grandpa. You fucking don't know what it's like to work for a fucking living like I do, to bust my fucking ass and do what I do. And you know what, Sean? You fucked me, and that's the way you got it. But you know what? Your grandpa's money will run out someday, and you'll have to feast for yourself. Get a fucking job, you piece of shit.
Welcome to Behind the Smoke Podcast, Barbecue War Stories. My name is Sean Walchef from Cali Comfort BBQ, here with my man, Derek Marceau from Valley Farm Market.
Hello, hello.
And we are back to the beginnings. We're back at right across the street from Cali Comfort in our think tank converted garage.
We live here during barbecue.
We do. We live here during barbecue. Silicon Valley, they have their think tanks. This is our Spring Valley think tank.
This is where the magic happens.
Yeah, Derek's doing a little bit of brand new construction on your offices above the butcher shop. So our podcast studio is a bit under construction, so to speak. Or
it's just I'm converting my office, or I'm just doing construction on it, and all of the stuff that was in the office now goes to the podcast room, so people still have places to work until it's done.
It's easy, right?
Oh, it's so easy. You just have no
easy.
Computers, everyone's really excited about it.
Computers? Oh, you need internet?
Yeah, so it's been a nightmare.
When the internet goes down, everything shuts down.
Yeah, our whole lives, we don't know what to do.
No.
It's like, how do we fucking even walk without internet?
I don't know. I don't know how we do it. How'd you make it through last Father's Day weekend at the shop?
Man, talk about a fucking clusterfuck. It was great though. We broke records again, and I heard you guys did the same thing over here.
Yeah, it was our busiest day ever. We used to do about $30,000 to $40,000 in a month way back in the day when it was Country Choice, when we were doing breakfast and really didn't know what the fuck we were doing, just as a family. And now, just on Father's Day, we were able to break $30,000 on one Sunday. And, without our team working as hard as they did, I don't know how those guys behind the line, how we all banded together and made it happen. General managers,
I
Eric,
like it. Getting
Lisa,
back there, getting dirty.
Ian, yeah, getting dirty is that's a clean way to say what it looked like.
Picture.
You
I
see
saw
that
your picture. Oh my God.
Yeah, that was bad. It looked like a rave.
Dude.
Like a wedding being rave.
But how fucking rad. I mean, it's just to have that kind of support behind you. The community seems to be backing us, and we're very, very fortunate that everyone keeps coming back and wants to take their dad to Cali Comfort on a special day like that, or wants to come to Valley Farm and get them some nice steak. So shout out to all of our customers, man. We really appreciate you.
Oh, no, it was absolutely incredible.
We can't do what we do without you guys. So
yeah, and we even had Derek Walls, our specialty pit boss. He stepped up. We were down one of our pit crew, and he stepped up to run the pit, and he did was making 130 racks of ribs.
I saw that,
and was even training our man Fern. He was doing a little apprenticeship. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, I told him, be careful what you ask for.
Dude, throw you right into the fucking fire. You ask for it, well, you shall receive, my friend.
Absolutely. But
good for him.
We are very fired up today to go back to my beginnings with somebody that I've known. I think we've known each other since 6th grade.
Wow.
Back over in
1940.
Yeah, so we brought La Jolla to East County, and this guy I have known since 6th grade. Somebody that works his ass off, and somebody that has earned everything that he's been given, and now he's on the entrepreneurial side of things, and they're running a fucking fantastic place called Wheat and Water in Bird Rock, which is part of La Jolla, actually about a block away from where I grew up. I grew up on Bird Rock Avenue, and they're on the corner. They're on La Jolla Boulevard and Bird Rock. Probably one of the toughest places to open up a restaurant. We know a lot about that, opening up a restaurant here on Troy Street in Spring Valley. But we do want to welcome Ted Cochrane from Wheat and Water. Welcome to Behind the Smoke, Ted. What's happening?
Yeah, boys. Thanks for having me out.
You made it out here. You found us.
Kinda.
There's no surf out here.
God.
It's a little
fish
bit
out of water.
different.
I know you are a fish out of water.
Fish out of
A
water.
little bit different than La Jolla. But we'll get you acquainted, man.
Thank
we'll
you.
get you acquainted. It's definitely a pleasure to have you out here. So growing up in La Jolla, what the fuck got you into wanting to open up a restaurant?
Oh man, it's a trip. It's after high school, I was kind of like a little lost puppy. What do I want to do? I don't.
So
I
La
have
Jolla
no-
High School, right?
Yep, La
La
Jolla
Jolla
High School. Didn't spend too much time there. It's mostly hang at the beach, try to chase chicks and have fun. But I got a job at El Pescador Fish Market, and I think that's a starting point for a lot of young people in La Jolla. They don't, oh, my bros work there. Well, that sounds like a cool idea. So I got a job there because all my buddies were there, and God, it's a iconic, restaurant, fish market in La Jolla. It's been there now 30 plus years, and it was probably one of the best experiences, best jobs.
What did you get? What kind of job was it? Entry level?
Total entry level. I'd never really picked up a knife before. I had never done much cooking besides, making mashed potatoes with grandma for Thanksgiving and Christmas and stuff like that. But I love to eat. I pack on 15, 20 extra pounds.
You're in good company.
Yeah,
right?
100% love getting after it. But yeah, I was like, oh man, this is killer. I get to work with my friends. It's really busy. It's you work hard and you play hard.
Sure.
100%. And like I said, it was one of the best times of my life in that we would work our faces off, and then we would travel. We'd go to Fiji and work on the little island of Tavarua, and we'd go chase swells down to Baja.
Nice.
And we'd come back and you'd work, 15, 20 doubles in a row, and you go do it all over again.
So for those that don't know, what's working a double?
Anybody, if people want to classify it as, anything over 8 hours or something like that, it's, but shoot, 16, 17, 15, 16 hours. You know, let her rip, Tater Chip.
Yeah. I think one of the things that people don't understand is how hard we actually have to work in the restaurant industry. And when you're working a double, that really doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean 2 8-hour shifts. It really means you're just going to work until the job gets finished.
Get the fucking job done.
Yeah, get the fucking job done. And I think Fern got a good taste of how we roll out here. He was just kind of blown away on Sunday, thinking that,
it's a lot of business, man.
It's a lot of business. It's a lot of work. And, what those guys do in the kitchen, the amount of hours and the heat and the pressure. I mean, tickets falling on the ground, tickets that can't even stay up on the line anymore. It gets intense. And, working at a place like El Pescador, like Ted said, it is an iconic place. It's an iconic fish market. And there's a reason why.
A big place, small restaurant?
So it was a small restaurant. They have since moved. How long ago was that, Ted?
God, it's been, they're probably coming in their year and a half now.
So before
at the new location.
Yeah, it was literally a walk-up market where you would come and get fresh fish.
On the La Jolla Boulevard?
On
Pearl Street.
Pearl Street. So yeah, just right off of La Jolla Boulevard, right, literally a stone throw away from Bishop's High School, where I went to high school. And they moved across the street to more of a full service sit down restaurant. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, it's still kind of a fast casual concept.
So they have you order and then you go sit down at your table.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Less labor.
Right. I mean,
what's that?
Right. That's what's going to happen, man. People, with these increases on minimum wage and everything, that's kind of what we're forced to do, is figure out ways to
New layouts of restaurants for sure.
Layouts, how to, get labor down. I mean, that's what we have to figure out and keep the key people happy, and the rest we'll figure out.
So Ted, back when you were working, is there a trainer or a manager, somebody that really taught you what the fuck was going on? Something that you remember and then you continue to pass on to your staff, your crew?
Yeah. I mean, one of my best friends in the world, Adam Warren, he taught me how to use the claw, how to not cut your fingers off. That was pretty pivotal right there. How knife skills, Adam, and Sean Shannon, the guy that owns the place, he's he's the one that kind of showed us that, you work your face off and you can have a good life.
Yeah.
He travels a lot now. He's probably gone, 4 months out of the year, something like that, but he's built a great crew and he takes care of the people. So I mean, the Adam and Sean, and, there's a couple of, Justin Halbert, Mikey Wilson, God, Tyler Seckman, the list goes on.
I think one of the coolest things about El Pescador is that they took the time before they expanded. And now that they've expanded, they've been successful.
Oh, God.
So many curses that happen to restaurants is that they want to expand too fast to that second location. And when they get to that second location, they realize they don't have the systems in place to be successful. And, you know, it's actually not even a second location because they just moved across the street and that became their new location. So it's still just one location. But they did it the right way. And, I mean, when did El Pescador open when? Like 70s, right?
Yeah, the first one was on PCH in Del Mar.
Oh, wow.
And that's, you know, back in the, you know, mid late 70s. I'm like, shoot, we got a good concept here. It's going well. Let's do it down in La Jolla. And Sean, his resume is pretty hilarious. He was a paper boy.
Nice.
Paper boy up until like 16. And then, you know.
For the Union Tribune?
I forgot which paper. You know, he's a North County guy, Solana Beach guy.
Okay.
But, so it very well could have been. But got Paperboy and then started working El Pescadores, you know, little fishmonger dude and making sandwiches and stuff like that. And then he became part owner at the one La Jolla and then wound up buying out Jeff Norris. And, you know, now he's, you know, probably classify him as a millionaire. He'd probably tell me to shut the fuck up. But, you know, he's done very well for himself. But, dude, that guy, he's earned it.
Yeah.
So what are some of the growing pains you've had to face? You know, being a new place in La Jolla. You know, how'd you come up with the concept, and how are you trying to get the community involved with you?
Yeah, totally. So I mean, just kind of a little snapshot. A friend and I were surfing one day. We're surfing Southbird, and we go, "Oh shit, let's go get some pizza after this. It sounds great." You know, we just kind of, you know, burn some calories. Kind of fun to go grab a beer and some pizza, but. You know, no offense to anybody that the restaurants are there. They've done it. They've proven concept and stuff like that. But I wanted to do, you know, I wanted like some good freaking pizza. And unfortunately, you've got to leave La Jolla and you got to go to North Park, South Park, North County, downtown, Gaslamp, so on and so forth. So we're like, okay, shoot. You know, I've gone to culinary school, worked at a bunch of great restaurants, and this particular guy that I started the concept with, he and his family owned a restaurant. So I go, shoot. Well, let's just start our own restaurant.
Yes.
Great idea.
Great idea, right?
There.
Great idea.
But it's all I know how to do, pretty much. You know.
So what year was that? What were we talking?
Geez, like 3.5, 4 years ago now.
Don't they feel like dog years?
I don't know what happened.
It's like 21 years.
I don't know what happened.
People are like, "Oh, the restaurant's been open for 9 years." I'm like, 9 years? No way.
Look,
it's been open for like 45 years.
Yeah, the gray hair's coming out.
Yeah,
it doesn't stop. I'll tell you that. I'm
no.
fucking almost full headed.
Yeah. So we go, okay, shoot. Well, let's look around. Let's look at locations. You know, what do we want the concept to be like? And I wanted rustic, good, you know, wood-fired charred pizza.
Right.
And other delicious side items. I don't think you can just have a pizza concept anymore. You know, it's worked. Pernicanas, it's worked. And some other, you know, they got some other complimentary dishes. But I wanted to do some really killer, you know, fire-roasted, rustic, charred stuff. Food, delicious food. And so we're like, shoot, that just doesn't exist. So, okay, is there a little niche in the market? Is there a little wiggle room here we could kind of get in? And
sure.
But where do we go? Do we go downtown La Jolla where, you know, you're paying $4 a square foot or something like that?
Fuck.
$5 a square foot?
Easy. Yeah, I mean, it's fucking insane.
It's ridiculous, and they wonder why there's so much turnover all the time. You know, how do you...
Well, I mean, when the landlords are, I mean, they're not, you have to be able to grow your business. And when you're a brand new concept, it's so hard to establish yourself in a market like La Jolla because people are picky as fuck. They want something that's fantastic.
Was your landlord good with you? I mean, they allow you some TI and they help you out, or they just fucking say, here you go?
No comment.
It's behind the smoke. Trust me, they're not. They won't listen.
No one's
it's
listening.
all good. It's all good.
Listening.
I would love to be able to purchase this building one day, and I want to keep things on just a positive
On a positive
There,
level.
No, and yeah, just keep the karmic energy kind of positive, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But yeah, so we said, shoot, we don't want to be in PB. That's not the concept. We don't want to be in downtown La Jolla because it's too much money. We're, you know, when we were raising money for the concept, you know, I back it up. I had since, you know, moved on from that original concept partner. He just didn't want to, you know, go forward with it, and I respect that. You know, it's done deal.
Sure.
And so I got linked up with my business partner, Doug Ritz now, awesome dude, and we started raising dough for the place after we had, you know, identified the location and
How fucking hard is it to raise money for a restaurant that's never been open?
oh my god.
People are like, "Fuck you, Ted."
Oh, and how'd you go about it?
How about fuck
Did
you,
you
Ted?
do like a Kickstarter? What'd you do?
Dude, we did just about everything, including like, partially selling our souls.
Yes.
But, like back to what Sean said, it's like, La Jolla's tough.
Not only that, but I grew up on Bird Rock Avenue, and I watched every single different type of business fail. It did not matter. La Jolla Boulevard was just, it was a proverbial butcher shop for businesses.
Well, totally.
And until they put those roundabouts, the La Jolla Community Council, credit to them. They had some forward thinking, and I don't know how the fuck they pulled it off, but they put in these roundabouts, which, for California, for San Diego, it was just this concept that people are like, what the fuck, a roundabout? That's something that comes from England,
Was it just to slow people down?
It's literally to slow. It's what we need on Troy Street. I joke when we do orientation with our new hires. I'm like, do you know what the Autobahn is? Like Autobahn, I'll get one out of 5 kids that actually know what the Autobahn is. They go, oh, isn't it the place in Germany where you can drive as fast as you want? I'm like, yeah, well, this is the East County Autobahn. And that's literally what La Jolla Boulevard used to be. It was an Autobahn.
People just flying around.
It's supposed to be 35 miles an hour, but there's no stop sign. There's no, stop lights to slow cars down. So until they put those roundabouts, they really do work. They
and it
slow
makes
cars
people
down.
stop and look and see what's going on over there.
Absolutely. And now they have diagonal parking as well, which increase the amount of parking spots that they have in front of the businesses.
100%. It was just a throughway drag strip.
Yeah.
Yeah. So until
I was guilty of it. 16-year-old. I think we were drag racing, maybe.
Why not? YOLO. YOLO.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, no. So, back to your question, how do we raise money? We built a business plan, and I really didn't want to hit up friends and family, but you have to start somewhere.
Sure.
So I had some buddies that were like, yeah, shoot, this fuck, we need this. Absolute no brainer. You've got the connections, you got the network kind of in place. As long as you got a good business partner, which Doug is. Doug's awesome and does so much for the business that I can't wrap my head around numbers.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, absolutely.
So
yeah, absolutely.
I'm learning, but we've got the network in place. So, I go, look, maybe you don't want to invest in my concept, but maybe 3 or 4 other people that might,
Yep.
So I would go and talk to those 3 or 4 other people. One person might have interest. They might have invested, or they go, look, shoot, I've got a buddy that's just, he's fucking rich as shit and he just wants to park some cash and be a part of something cool.
Right.
Did
you structure the plans completely different with everybody? It was just on an individual basis, or?
We try to keep it as uniform as possible.
Right.
It's
easiest. Yeah.
Yeah. You got to cut some deals here and there, and that's business negotiations and stuff like that. But, we wanted to keep it as uniform as possible. Well, he got this and I got that. And, just like, no, it's clean all the way through.
Right. So we have a lot of, aspiring entrepreneurs, people that, they're competitive barbecue teams or they're caterers, and they eventually do want to open up a business. What advice would you give to them as far as raising money, raising capital?
Proof concept. And that's so cool that you guys are part of the you guys do the Del Mar. You guys host that.
Yep.
And it gives them a platform to kind of get their product out there, get their flavor profile out there, get their brand out there. But my biggest thing is like, pick a small little location, find a restaurant that's failing and prove concept.
Or go to a farmer's market.
100%.
You got to find out how fucking hard it actually is. Because a lot of people, they're working in a different career path. And you're like, oh, okay, well, I can do it as a restaurant owner. What? Am I going to put 50, 60 hours a week? No. It has, you have to be ready to fucking work. Exactly what we talked about. Is that double? Try 20 hours. Try 21 hours. Try your eyeballs are bleeding, and now you need to figure out how am I going to wake up and make sure that I go back and do it again.
Right. Because that's a very, very crucial thing too with the proof of concept. It's people love good food, and when they try your stuff, if you can produce quality food, they'll be back.
Sure.
And it doesn't matter where you're at. I don't care. I understand. There's some guys that say, well, people don't travel up a hill to go to a restaurant, or people that only come down hills, and then all those things. If you make fucking good quality product, people are going to come. They'll figure it out.
The number one thing, if you read any, books or magazines about opening up a restaurant. It's location, location, location. Right. They'll fucking say that through and through. For us, it's attitude, attitude, attitude. I don't give a fuck where your location is. If you're willing to put the work in, if you're willing to listen to your customers, if you're willing to listen to the neighborhood and embrace the neighborhood, it might take a while, but if you have something that's fantastic, people are going to come. And, you know, Bird Rock is probably if there's a place that I could compare Spring Valley and Troy Street to, it would be La Jolla Boulevard, is how difficult it is to build a successful business. And, you know, watching Beaumont as a neighborhood eatery, they bucked the trend. You know, Bird Rock Coffee Roasters and Beaumont, those two places, they actually came in after I had moved away from La Jolla. But they're still there today. And not only are they there, but they're thriving.
I couldn't agree anymore. And I got total respect to, you know, Dave and Megan Hines of Beaumont's and Chuck of Bird Rock Coffee Roasters, who just recently sold his concept to another guy that wants to kind of make it more of like a Southern California regional brand. But I mean, yeah, they put the flag in the ground. They said, hey, we're gonna make this cool here. And it took them, fuck, man, it's been, Beaumont's, I think, is like 12, 13 years, something like that. Yeah. It's been a while. Mm-hmm. And Bird Rock Coffee Roasters, you know, probably 7-8 years. And it, like you said, it took Chuck probably like 5-6 years until he finally expanded to, you know, a couple more locations. But yeah, I mean, look, yeah, we're on the coast, but you're on the coast, so you've got the ocean right there. Most places are surrounded by neighborhoods and whatnot. They've got 360 degree, and Dave Hines from Beaumont's kind of, you know, pointed this out to me. He's like, look, dude, you've got Mount Soledad right there. You've got one way in on Ardith and one way in on, you know, from PB, you know.
Ardith. Do people even know what Ardith is? You mean La Jolla Parkway?
Nope.
No, it's always Ardith.
I refuse to acknowledge. I refuse to acknowledge.
That's fair enough. I'm down with Ardith.
Yeah. So
Google doesn't even know what Ardith is anymore.
Fuck Google. No, yeah. So it is tough, and you know, to your guys' point just a minute ago, it's like, yeah, location, 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 but good food, great service, you know, cool little hangout place. For instance, when I want good tacos, you know where I go? Fucking National City.
Yeah.
And I hate to like do a shout out to like Tacos Gordo.
No, because it's the truth.
Fucking Instagram and
you don't give a shit. Like
white people are ruining that place. You know what I mean? Now there's just a fucking line. You know, it's like a 45-minute wait to go get some tacos.
Yeah.
But I will go down there and get their al pastor, cabeza, lengua, fuck everything, because it is so delicious. I will drive 30 minutes to go get tacos.
Absolutely.
No, that's definitely something. I do the same thing. You know, I go down there a lot, and my parents have a car wash down there, so it's every time I go down there, it's like, oh my god, you forget how fucking good it is. Every single time I go there, I just get
but you know, like when you start to focus less on the things that are hurting your business. You know, if we sat here and we're like, oh, we're on Troy Street, you know, we're across the street from Ramiro's Tires, and we have Champions Tires, and there's a liquor store, and you know, it's like all these negative things. You forget to focus on what are the things that are actually going to bring people through the doors. I mean, on fucking Sunday, on Father's Day, we had, you know, 3 guys helping people park in pawn shop, in, you know, overflow parking. I mean, it looked like the East County Fair out here. But we did that because we've been so focused on how the fuck do we make the best barbecue possible on Troy Street. And if we do that, then it doesn't really matter where people live. They're going to come out. You know,
feel the dreams.
And I think that's what you guys are trying to do with pizza. Not just pizza, but you know, the neighborhood concept, or a place where people can come and they can hang out, and they feel comfortable coming to a bar with their family, right?
Big time. I
mean, how did you guys lay out the restaurant? What was the goals? And I mean, because you guys did you took a while.
Well, yeah.
How long did it take to get the restaurant open?
Shoot, you know, I mean, there's so many things that were kind of involved with that in terms of, you know, we had raising money, man. Raising money was really tough. And that, you know, if someone just wrote me a check for $1 million, I'd be like, okay, I'll build you a restaurant in friggin' 6-8 months, no problem. But it took us like 2.5 years because raising money was
2.5 years.
Yeah, raising money was tough.
What did I tell you every time I saw you? Not just me, but every single person, like all your friends. What did they tell you? Hey, Ted, is your restaurant open?
When are you
going to open? When are you going to fucking open?
Oh my god! Did you have the location set? You knew where you wanted to be?
Oh yeah, there were people working on site every fucking day.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, but part of it was like we'd raise a little bit of money, and then we'd, now that we're open, I can kind of like open up the book a little bit, but like we'd raise some money and then like we'd run out of money. So we have to, but still like, kind of like, okay, move that pile of dirt from there to there and those sacks of concrete from there to there, and we'd be bringing through investors and stuff like that. And like, oh yeah, stuff's totally happening.
Things are happening.
Forward progress. But we need money, so that's what took the longest time is raising money. And like, to fuck that voicemail, man, I swear to God, that like, it gives me freaking, goosebumps because it's just like, I swear because of who we are and where we came from. And, fuck, I'll never deny it. I got a shot in the arm. I got a little leg up from Dad. Dad gave me some dough, but all I did was just buy the former restaurant and bought the lease out. So once I did that, we were at $0.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We had to go out there and pound the pavement. We raised $1 million. At the end of the day, we raised $1 million to build this restaurant. The construction, the liquor license.
You never thought it was going to be $1 million. Because every time I talk to anybody that's going to open up a restaurant, I don't care what they're going to open. They're like, oh, I'm thinking about raising $100,000. Talk to a good friend. He's like, oh, I want to, open up a brewery. It's going to be real simple. This, that, the other. I'm thinking about $200,000. I'm like, triple it.
Yeah,
triple it.
Yeah.
Whatever amount of money you want, you better triple it because you just don't know. And the more money that you go after, you can build yourself a base for when the shit hits the fan or something goes the way that
and
you
before
don't
you know
think
it, it's just fucking gone.
Absolutely.
You're like, what the fuck? Where did that even go?
Well, because you have to start making micro decisions on what you're doing, and in order to make those decisions, you're choosing over quality. Like, do I want this piece of equipment that I can buy used, which I think will last me, or I can buy a brand new piece of equipment that's going to guarantee last me. But then eventually you add all those things up. You're like, shit, I'm over budget. Now I have to start to find a way to trim. Right. Well, where do you trim? You start trimming, and then next thing you know, you got a piece of shit equipment, and that equipment is the most important thing that runs your restaurant. You're like, fuck, I shouldn't have trimmed on that.
Yeah. So Ted, you guys really are doing good with your beers too. You guys, I saw you got a nice little tap list. And how many taps do you have?
Well, we have 30. We have 30 taps now. 6 of those are dedicated to wine. Three white. And 3 red. Well, now a rosé because
that's
basic bitch is just burning that fucker down there. Just like
right,
rosé all day.
Rosé all day. There you go.
It's awesome. No, I love it. So and then we've got a cold coffee, a nitro, and then we got 22 beers on draft, and it's so much fun. Just getting to try all the different beers out there and all the different flavor profiles.
R&D. That's why we do these things.
It is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, right. That's great. I mean, I saw you guys did some like tap takeovers. Was that modern? No.
Mike Hess.
Yeah. Mike Hess came in and.
Totally. Yeah. We started with the first one was Green Flash, Alpine, and then we did I feel like I'm missing Society, and then Mike Hess. And then we had Modern Times lined up, but I think we even got too far ahead of ourselves. We're trying to do too much shit too fast.
Right.
So we're like, okay, let's just like bring it back down. We need to focus on service and how our servers approach the table and really give them the best service possible. We were trying to do too much too fast, switching over the beer list and trying to get too fancy and stuff like that. It's like, no, we need to really hone in on training staff and making sure we're doing the best job possible right here. And then we can start doing fun stuff maybe next year or something like that.
And the community is really appreciating that, I'm sure. I mean, to have good beer down there and good eats, man, that's big. And to have a good atmosphere, that's really where for me, going to a restaurant, if I don't feel like have a good feeling when I go in there, I'm fucking done. I don't care.
Big time.
If you have a good atmosphere, and that's real crucial to bring the community. People can bring their kids in, hang out. That's a big aspect of making sure that everyone becomes vested in not just your business, but you personally too. And that's where everyone just wants to stay. They want to support you, and hopefully that continues to work for you.
No, yeah, 100%. I think what I wanted to build was, and I've worked at some really cool places too. Like one of my favorite jobs in the world too was working at Sector 9 Skateboards, and what those guys did is they built kind of like a lifestyle brand.
Yep.
And that's what I wanted to do with Wheat and Water, is build a lifestyle brand. Oh shoot, I just went golfing what am I going to do after? I'll just go grab a beer and figure it out after that. I just got done surfing. Let's go eat there and see what's going to happen. You might just stay there all night. I don't know.
Right.
I love watching Cali's, Instagram feed, because that's what I feel like you guys have done that too. Is you guys have a lifestyle restaurant where you can come post up, and it's a community. At the end of the day, what are you you're gonna break bread, and you're gonna be with people, and you're gonna create memories. I don't want to just have like a food factory. Come in and eat food and then leave.
Yeah, well, it's not transactional anymore. You make it part of a story and part of something that you do that you feel good about. I mean, you feel good about doing it because, for us, we love sports entertainment, and we've created our restaurant around sports entertainment and getting involved with the San Diego Gulls and, being at the hockey games and going tailgating with, the Chargers and doing those things. They didn't happen overnight. It became something organic because that's who we are. And like, we weren't ashamed of who we are, and we're going to embrace who we are. I mean, you guys, what you have out there in Bird Rock is something it's exciting because it's who you are, and you've built that into Wheat and Water, and the more, exactly what you talked about with El Pescador, like part of living that lifestyle was you guys going on those trips to Fiji, and that was part of your crew, and that was part of what you did. I just saw, one of your Instagram posts with, somebody with the Wheat and Water shirt at the pyramids.
Yeah.
And like that, but like that's the cool shit, is because like somebody actually traveled and they took your shirt with them. It's like, where in the world is Wheat and Water? We have the same thing. We have our customers that share, these awesome photos of, we have soldiers in Afghanistan that put a Cali hat on a donkey, and like they're all posing, because they want to see that picture in the restaurant.
Yep.
And where did that come from? I mean, it came from the cheese shop, to be honest with you.
Yeah, 100%.
Cheese shop in La Jolla. I mean, they've been doing it my whole life. I would go into the cheese shop, I go get a turkey sandwich, and they have Frisbees with the cheese shop.
Yep.
But people from all over the world, this was actual real photos, not like digital, like Instagram like we have now.
Yeah.
They'd actually take a real photo like somewhere around the world with that fucking Frisbee, and you're like, damn, that's really cool.
Remember the picture with the guy? He's like in an F-14 Tomcat.
Yeah.
And he's holding the Frisbee.
Exactly.
It's like, dude
exactly.
brought a Frisbee, a freaking F-14 top cheese shop. That's insane.
Yeah, I mean, we just catered for JC, one of our closest friends. He just retired from the Navy, and he went to Antarctica, and in Antarctica he has a fucking Cali shirt on. Yeah. It's like, it's so badass.
That guy's a fucking rock star, by the way.
Oh,
that's what I fucking love, JC.
Unbelievable.
Sick.
But yeah, no, those are the things that really, they make those 21-hour days where your eyeballs are bleeding. They make it all worth it.
Oh, I was so psyched to see that.
So tell me, we saw you guys are doing Grubhub and Uber Eats. How's that? How long have you been doing that, and how are you double dipping? It's like, because they want you to like mortgage your your firstborn child.
Can't do it.
They're like, yeah.
Okay. Here's the behind the smoke.
It's 20%, right?
Here's your fucking truth, man. Yeah, it's almost like you're losing money.
It's 20%. So it's inverse of catering. So the best part about catering is you get paid prior to you actually giving them the product, and you're guaranteed. It's not vending where you're going, oh, I'm guessing that there's going to be 100 people there. You're going there and that you're serving 100 people that have actually already been paid for. Delivery, now they're actually taking the payment for the food that you've already cooked. Not only are they taking payment, but they're also taking their service fee, correct? And then they're paying you at the end of the month. So let's hypothetically say that you do $10,000, right? In Uber Eats. To go.
Just take $2,000 off the top.
They're going to take $2,000 off the top, but not only $2,000 off the top, but then they're going to pay you next month at the end of July what you've already given.
I'm no mathematician. I don't like that.
Don't like it. No, like you.
No.
No, it is. It's like, and what people need to understand is that you're operating on such tough margins.
Right.
The thinnest of margins.
Yeah, you're like, God, I hope that we can get to like 11, 12, 13, 14, 15% profit margin.
No, yeah, absolutely. And not only that, but I mean, when you came out before you guys opened, when you and I had that hour meeting,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I remember.
I told you a bunch of shit you didn't want to hear.
Yep.
I was like, I'm just going to be fucking brutally honest with my friend and tell him all the things that he doesn't want to hear. I'm not going to pat him on the back. I'm not going to say, hey, good fucking job, Ted. I'm going to tell you, these are where we fucked up. We fucked up because we didn't do a weekly inventory. We didn't have systems in place to keep our restaurant profitable. And all these things that you don't want to do as a restaurant owner, you have to fucking do it. And otherwise you don't, all your money's going to be gone.
Well, it's not sexy, right?
Nothing sexy about it. There's nothing sexy about a fucking purchase
count
order.
those
No.
boxes again.
Every single week.
There's 6 of them.
Yes.
Great. There's
Six of them.
last week,
There's
too.
5.5.
Right.
Now there's 5.5. Like,
But
oh,
now those pennies, it's like, fuck, dude, that actually adds up. Our inventory, I mean, at the store, we're at fucking $600,000 in the inventory at our store.
yes.
It's like, fuck me, dude.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
what if
I
you
don't
didn't
watch
count that? Well, what if you didn't count that? What if it was 550,000?
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
$50,000.
I count everything.
Your wife would be like, "Where the fuck is that $50,000, Derek?"
Yeah, no, it's that's one of our biggest goals is to make sure everything comes in that back door and goes out that front door.
Yeah.
And to make it happen in a reasonably quick time is paramount to our success.
Because we have perishable products.
That's one of my stepdad said a long time ago. He's like, perishable business is no fucking joke.
No, we're a fucking factory.
It's hard, man. It's you know, he owns car washes and that guy's a fucking workhorse in himself. But he's like, you know, that perishable stuff, man, that's got an expiration date.
Yeah.
You better get it in and get it out. And it's not, like we said, it's not sexy to do all those things that are behind the scenes, but it is the most crucial thing to make your business successful is to know where you're at all times.
So, I mean, I think one of the things I did tell Ted about was restaurant solutions. RSI. So, RSI, they allowed us to set up systems, software-based, that for independent restaurant owners, it allows us to compete with the big boys. So there's a reason why corporate restaurants that have 10 units, 15 units, 150 units, why they are successful is because they force their GMs, their managers to do all the shit that independent restaurant owners don't do and don't want to do. They set up all your payroll, they set up all your AP, they set up all your menu engineering. They do so many things that we're still now, we've been with RSI, I think, for 5 years now, and we're still using different tools that are helping us improve our bottom line.
That's great.
And if you can't improve your bottom line, if you can't pay your bills, what kind of fucking business are you running?
A backwards business.
A backwards business. That's absolutely right. How's the RSI been working for you?
It's great. Like you said, it holds everybody accountable, and you know, we're only really scratching the surface with them. It's like, oh shit, okay, we got done. People are like, okay, you're done with construction. Are you happy? I'm like, no, now we got to fucking run a business.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But it's great because it holds everyone accountable. You know, cash is king. Inventory. You know, you got to know where you're at. But yeah, it's like, we only have one bottle of this, but we're supposed to have.
Yeah.
2.
Well, then you know you have a theft problem, or you have an overpouring problem. You don't know that unless you're actually
On
weekly looking at those numbers.
We had that at the store, and the reason we got rid of the malt liquors, Four Locos, 40s, everything like that was because I'll get a case of fucking 12 in, and 4 go through the register.
Yeah.
And all the rest, I'm like,
you're like, what the fuck? I'm no mathematician, but that's not right.
right, exactly. And I'm like, well, I'll get rid of the fucking problem. I just won't fucking bring them in anymore.
Yep.
That's when we really started going to craft beer. And we carry about 1,000 different craft beers, but we can manage that inventory, and those aren't getting stolen.
But
those aren't getting.
You made a cultural decision as well.
Sure.
Oh my God,
you made a decision that, we should be selling this because we're going to lose this demographic, this certain customer. Just like we used to do 50-cent wings.
Yeah.
We used to do 50-cent wings, and we would get people that would come in with quarters, and they would pay for 50-cent wings, and they would make our servers' lives hell, where we'd have waitresses that would start crying. So like, I can't do it. Like, I can't go and serve this table. All these, they want 6 different types of wings, and it just created chaos.
We're really busy.
Guess what? That really busy and that thin profit margin
didn't
work.
even
make any sense.
Yeah, we got rid of Western Union and check cashing for the same type of reason. And it's like, I know there's times where you got to send money to people, and I know my mom had sent money to me one time in college, Western Union, but the majority of the people that don't have the checking account that can't, they weren't the ones after they cashed their check, they weren't coming in and buying anything from the store. So it's just
they were holding up the line for the people that actually were there. That
for the $3 that we made, it was just a nightmare to get my manager to go up there and do it. And then the fraudulent checks, and then until telecheck came along, and we were losing money on that kind of stuff.
So I definitely do want to talk about how fucking amazing your pizza is, because my wife is probably one of the most picky eaters in the world. And when we came out there, we came out for your soft opening. Before a Gulls game, it was me and my wife and Eric, our general manager, and we had the pizza. And the next day, my wife's like, "Let's go back to Ted's." I'm like, "Yeah, but Ted, it's in Bird Rock." She's like, "I don't care." It's like all she could talk about was how fucking amazing that pizza was. Wow. So what are you guys doing that makes that pizza so special?
Well, first off, I greatly appreciate the kind words, and I hope you guys.
It's brutal honesty. So if it was shitty pizza, my wife would fucking say it was shitty pizza.
No, totally. And
you guys earned that.
I think it's a good starting place, and by no means am I satisfied. And things have gotten better. The dough has matured, and it's gotten more of like that little bit of sourdough tang to it.
So you're making conscious decisions on the actual dough, correct? All the
if you don't have good dough, just fucking go home.
Yeah,
go home. Go if you really want to learn about good dough. Go read the tartane book.
Would you say that's the most important thing for a pizza?
Yeah. That's your vessel. Yeah. And if you have your dough and then the cooking process, and everybody can go, oh, well, gas fired oven is great because you can really manage you can really get a consistent product. But then the wood's fun because you get a little bit of char and you get a little bit of flavor and character and
So
rustic.
What kind of wood are you using?
We use white oak double split.
White oak double split.
Yeah.
How much wood do you go through?
We go through about 2 cords a month, and
that's a lot of wood.
A lot of wood.
That's no bullshit.
Yeah, I thought it was more than that.
Double cord. That's serious.
Yeah, it's
where are you getting it from?
It's right there. The guy's right down the street. His name's Diego de la Cruz. He's freaking
in La Jolla.
No,
it's a wood guy in La Jolla.
No.
Is it California?
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Super good guy. He and his crew, they come like clockwork every other Wednesday, and I've got a little shed in the back, and they stack it there all killer. And he comes in, gives me the invoice. I go, "You got 10 minutes?" He's like, "Of course." For what? I'm like, "Let me send you guys with some food. Nice. Give him a couple pizzas." We actually just launched a new pizza called La Pizza, and it's a chili verde pork shoulder braised for like 4 hours. Yeah, it's just pull apart.
You gotta be a chili verde,
right? Dude, it's psycho. I always wanted to do like a Mexican style pizza because growing up here in San Diego,
that's where we lived basically.
That's where we live. Yeah. Well, we are in Mexico.
And I'd go down to Mexico every fucking weekend.
Yep.
To either surf or to go to Rosarito or
go crush some tacos.
Exactly, tacos del Yaqui in Rosarito. I mean, I just fucking lived there. It's just fucking
So I mean, and I haven't really seen, and I'm not saying that it's not been done before, and I'm not even calling us like groundbreaking or anything like that, but I wanted to do a Mexican pizza, and I hadn't seen one, and I wanted to do it right. And our new chef, Christian Fuel, he was born in the States, then raised in TJ. Freaking awesome dude, incredible flavor profile. He worked at a Cucina Urbana for 4 years, and then most recently Galaxy Taco for 2 years, which we're actually doing. Today's Tuesday, and this is coming out Friday, but tonight we're doing a taco takeover.
Awesome.
At Galaxy. Yeah. So we're super fired up for that. But the La Pizza flavor profile is insane. It's Mexico on a pizza.
Well,
I expect to see you there.
Yeah. I'm definitely.
We're fucking going for sure.
We're actually looking at opening up a little new place out in La Jolla. So if
please
all goes
talk
well,
please. If you, I think that's like what La Jolla is really, really missing. Mm-hmm. And if I've got some ideas, I would just love. I want you to be successful there.
Sure.
And what you're doing.
I told him the same thing. Yeah. I was like, you can't go to La Jolla without talking to us.
Yeah. No. And we're excited about it, and we're just kind of putting our business
way
plan
more
together
excited
right now.
For them to take over the old Lucky's and Albertsons right there.
That was close, man. That
The
was
one
really,
across
really
from Los
close.
Dos.
That
Put
became
a
the
Valley Farm
Hagen's,
Market.
and then
Oh fuck.
I was close, but they had a who went in there?
Gelson's.
Yeah, so
did.
Gelson's bought they had a stock horse agreement, so they had 8, and I would have to match their price. It wasn't gonna. I was gonna put myself in a bad position by opening up there, so I couldn't do it. But we really want to get into that community out there, and we have a lot of friends and family that live out there that are really excited about us thinking about coming out there, and I know I'll definitely bounce all my ideas off you guys to make sure that it's something that can work. And we will talk about your landlord, because I think maybe your landlord owns some of the properties that I'm looking at. So, but I'm in the same position because I have a really, really hard time leasing. I own the property that we're at right now, and it's hard for me to go from owning to leasing and putting myself in that situation. So
100%.
I want to be able to buy it as well. So he's open to the idea. He's getting a little older, so we'll see if he's willing to sell it. If I just have first right of refusal.
100%.
So
I think that the community would really get behind something like that, and I think what's really cool is that people are really starting to get away from the big box stores, and they want to see, where's my food coming from?
no, it's huge. It's huge. Like we don't do commodity stuff anymore. You're not going to see anything at my store. I mean, for our meat and our seafood and everything like that, it's like I'm not buying IBP product. I'm buying from my packing house, which is a small packing house. They only slaughter, a small amount per day, and I can tell you exactly what they are fed. I've gone out there probably 15 times myself, and I can tell you from conception to slaughter what they're doing, how they're doing it. I have live feed at their place anytime like a customer wants to see. I've never had more people ask about it than they're asking now. I mean,
That's so rad.
in 10 years ago when I first went into the business, I mean, they didn't give a shit. They're like, oh, this is really good stuff.
Yeah.
And now they're like, oh, how is this raised? How, it's not, everyone's like,
Consumers educated.
Yeah, the organic, like people don't really even care about organic anymore. They want to know how the fuck it was raised.
Yeah.
Like they want to know exactly how it was raised. And that's been big for us because we've been such a proponent of that for the last 10 years.
Well,
now it's actually
it's important because it's been important to you.
Yeah.
And you've forced yourself to always be learning.
I mean, even with our chicken, I got out of some of these chicken places that I flew out there. I'm like, that's fucking disgusting. Like, you knew I was coming out here, and that's what I saw. So I don't even want to know what I didn't see when you didn't think I was coming. So, nope.
But we've talked about it before. We're why men.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
And you want to know why, because the more that you know about the product that you're selling your customer, the more that you can help educate them, but also educate yourself to make more conscious decisions on
Huge proponents of education.
on the stuff that we're doing. I mean, if we're going to continue to be in business, and it's 2017. I mean, we're in this. We're not going anywhere. And if we're going to continue to be successful, and we're going to continue to find opportunities to grow and to do things, at the Del Mar Thoroughbred Club, and to do, put on festivals and to partner with amazing people, you have to ask those questions. And sometimes those questions they get uncomfortable.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like I said, we're huge proponents of education, and the more I can educate my consumer, the more they get vested in what we're doing, and the more that they understand that we know what we're talking about and that we care. When they know that we care and we're not just going to put out shitty product, it gives them a sense of relief, and they're like, okay, cool, I can buy this, this, and this, and I was just going to buy this, but now I can buy everything because I know how much Derek cares about what's coming into the store.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's so true. And to be able to stand behind your product and go, yeah, you're going to pay a couple extra bucks a pound, or a little bit extra here and there, but you know what? I've gone and done the legwork. This is outstanding product, and I feel good about it. When I go and deliver a pizza or a meatball or an octopus plate on someone's table, I go, yeah, this is absolutely delicious. I am the final quality control.
Sure.
Yep.
And our chef, from the food getting built at the restaurant, cooked, and then coming across that expo line, we don't send stuff. I'd rather go to the customer and be like, hey, we accidentally burnt it. Shit happens.
Right.
Let me buy you a beer. Let me buy you a round of beer or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Pizza's going to be like 5-10 more minutes. But to be able to go and take that food and put it on the table, and it's for you to pull that meat out of the case and, give it to them. You're like, yeah, this is delicious product.
Well, you sleep well at night. Like I tell people that all the time. Like, I don't have problem sleeping because I know I am trying to give out the best product I know how at the cheapest price while still making a living.
Do the right thing, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't have problems sleeping.
Because you're not scared of work.
No, fuck
people
no.
are terrified of that dirty 4-letter word.
Yeah.
And that 4-letter word is work.
Yeah.
People don't want to do the work. But when you do
they
the
think
work,
they do.
No, they don't until they actually do it.
Well, I mean, people think that, okay, I fucking work hard.
Yeah,
So,
no, you don't fucking work hard. Like, when you do work hard and you do make conscious decisions, you have to make those micro conscious decisions every single day. And when you put that fucking pizza on the table, you know that you've done the best fucking job possible. And you know your team has all worked to make sure that everything that went into that pie was exactly the way that you wanted it done. To spec.
I'm fucking hungry. I want some of that pizza. I just keep thinking about that fucking Mexican pizza, bro. I cannot wait.
I was telling Sean,
to annihilate that shit.
I was telling Sean, man, why are we doing podcasts in the morning? I know you don't drink
happy
beer.
happy hour podcasting.
Yeah,
We
have
need to
a couple cold, delicious beers.
Sure.
I'll bring some, pizzas and some good stuff, and we'll get down.
We're actually thinking about starting to do some, at different places. So don't tempt us. We'll just have to come down to
Exactly.
Rock and do a podcast there.
I would be, the place is yours. We'll get you set up in like the back little booth area or at the bar. I don't give a shit. Go wherever you want. Sit outside in the beautiful patio sunlight.
Yeah, exactly.
And, have
Dog
some
friendly
fun.
patio. We're always down to bring our dog anywhere.
100%.
Dog goes everywhere. Diego doesn't.
Just on sand.
Just on sand. Yeah, no sand for the dog.
Just Diego.
So
10 minutes left.
what is the best things you guys have been doing marketing wise?
God, I wish that. I really wish that I wish and I don't wish. I wish that we had the money to, throw 50 grand at marketing,
Mm-hmm.
and I love how you've branded yourself and you're out there and you got the table, the table skirts and you got the stickers and hot barbecue bottles and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's also made us be really, really creative, and you have to kind of do that guerrilla, marketing.
Guerrilla marketing. I mean, we definitely didn't have that shit when we first started. When we when we opened 2008 and we had an opportunity to go to, Rock 105.3 to, promote our product, we didn't have fucking table skirts with branded logos on them or, barbecue retail bottles. Like I don't even know if we had fucking chafing dishes, to be honest with you. We literally just made it happen.
I remember when we first bought our Cambros, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, I was like, oh, fuck, Cambros?
Wow.
Oh, they have wheels? Yeah. You got wheels? Like, what? $150 for a set of Cambro wheels? Yeah, but I mean, Gene's like, you got to buy the best. And when you buy the best and you use Cambros, you're like, shit, how the hell did I use anything else? But you do what you have to do with the budget that you have. And I think back to what you're saying is you guys are doing a great job building your brand.
Thank
and
you.
You're building it low and slow. You're doing the things that you have to do with the budget that you have. And I think marketing wise, I was joking around with you about Twitter. I was like, what's your Twitter handle? And you told me you didn't have one. You said, we haven't hired a PR firm. Like, you are your fucking PR firm. Right. Like, at the end of the day,
Sean gives me shit too, because I finally just got one, so don't feel too bad.
It's funny just because the world that we live in just an attention span world where is the attention, and why are people focusing on what you do? And if the better posts that you put on Instagram, the more followers you're gonna get, the more likes that you're gonna get, the more that people are like, oh fuck, dude, I feel like pizza. Right. Let's go get some pizza. Oh, I'm in La Jolla. Let's go stop by Ted's spot. But that takes a conscious decision to do those Instagram posts and to find the time to integrate that into what you're trying to do.
And, to be honest with you, I think that the greatest form of marketing is being the owner and being present.
Sure.
Hi, how are you? How was your
Absolutely.
food? Was it delicious? Awesome, thank you. Or how can we make it better? How can we make your experience better? That person's going to go, shit, man, this guy freaking cares.
But being honest about that too, right?
Yeah.
Like you're asking because you fucking care. I'm not asking you just for like, okay, just to ask you, but like if you do tell me something that you didn't like, I'm going to fucking take that to heart and say, okay, how can I make that better? I'm not going to be like, okay, cool. Someone doesn't like it next. You honestly want to know.
It's not only that, but it gives us a competitive advantage over large corporate chains that other people don't have. And the more that you put yourself out there serving that pie, on Instagram to people, then they're like, oh, well, that's Ted. Now I know who Ted is. Fuck Derek. We got on Valley Farm Market, got fresh halibut in last week. Derek fucking been cutting fish his whole life, but you know, he fillets that fucking fish on Facebook. That video, I mean, fuck, the video's been viewed thousands of times.
It's real.
It's thousands of times, and now all of a sudden, you know, somebody that talks about fish, that talks about being a third generation butcher, like, oh shit, actually Derek knows what the fuck he's doing. Look at what he's doing to that fish. You're like, my wife's like, oh, can we go get halibut? I'm like, what? You don't even like fish, babe. She's like, well, we had halibut in Anchorage. You know, I had this amazing halibut salad. Like, that fish looks amazing. I'm like, well, there you go. Facebook is working. Facebook videos, now that shit is real. It's right there. And then all of a sudden you have all these other people that, you know, I haven't interacted with in Facebook. Fuck, I don't know if ever. All of a sudden they're commenting on Derek filleting this fish.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
people actually
incredible.
said, hey, I came in because of the video.
Absolutely. And that's the power of, you know, a video. And that's on Facebook. That's on Instagram. That's on
30,000
Twitter.
views on that.
It's unbelievable. I mean, it's absolutely unbelievable. And those are the things that are exciting. And because, you know, behind the smoke, you know, we joke around about it because, you know, literally that's what the podcast is. But people want to know more. The consumer wants to know more. And the more that we peel back the layer and let people in on the process is quality. So there's nothing that, you know, there's no secrets that we're trying to hide. It's like we're showing you what we do and what we love to do. And what we love to do takes work and it takes time.
5 minutes.
I could honestly go for like another 3 hours. This is actually really fun.
Yeah. No,
It's actually really fun.
We actually, at some point, we're going to have to figure out how to, maybe we might need to start going to 2 hours.
I know,
because
right?
It's just it goes by so fast. You know, you're talking all of a sudden, and then it's like, oh shit, we only have 5 minutes left. No,
I think
it's nuts.
it seems like the content is just like it can go forever because you can talk about all different sides of the business, and that's the funnest part. And like what's really cool about, you know, for me, I'm an audio visual learner.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so someone could be like, listen to your podcast, and I'm looking up at the whiteboard right here, and you guys have an incredible list of people, San Diego entrepreneurs, and you know, smart business people, and you know, it's really cool that someone can just pick up a podcast and learn something.
Well, I mean, the most exciting part is, you know, the base that we have in San Diego with entrepreneurs, people that are doing things in barbecue, that are doing things in catering, that are doing things with restaurants and butcher shops, and sports entertainment. I mean, we have such an incredible base here, not just in San Diego, but people that are listening to this podcast. I mean, we have people in Los Angeles that are tuning into the podcast because they want to know more about competition barbecue. They want to know about opening up a business. They want to know, how do I market my business? You know, what are the things that are working, that aren't working? And if, you know, 2 seconds of something that, you know, one of us says or one of the guests says will save somebody a lawsuit or save somebody, you know, 3 months of headache and pain, fuck, then it made it all worth it. You know, it made it all worth it because no matter where you are in the world, if you're opening up a business, we all have struggles. And, you know, and the reason why we play that voicemail is because that's the real fucking shit that happens. You know, you start a business, you have a business partner, you all have hopes and dreams, and guess what? Shit is going to go sideways.
No, you want to be able to grow.
You want to be able to, everyone wants to be able to grow.
That's a big thing, you know, Sean and I always talk about. It's like, look, we're not trying to compete with people. It's like, let's go. If you want to jump on this wagon, we're all going to go together. We just want to keep growing as much as possible, being transparent with each other, learning from each other. I love education, so I love just learning more and more about different. I mean, I don't even know about pizzas and how to make them and stuff, but I cannot wait to go down there and learn even more about like the whole process of what goes into it, because I know there's a lot,
dude.
And that's awesome,
dude. Come down. You know, I was talking to Sean about maybe getting some goat off you. We wound up changing one of the items we're doing tonight for the taco takeover from goat to oxtail.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
But I was going to actually, you know, get hooked up with you through Sean to possibly get some goat off you. But come down, bring. I'll fucking buy some meat off you. Bring that shit down. Come down. Let's make some food. Let's chop it up, man. Let's have some fun.
I'm into it.
You know, that's what it's all about. Just and getting back to it, breaking bread, meeting new friends, have a beer, iced tea, eat some food, create some memories. That's what it's all about.
Well, I mean, just look at, you know, where you guys have been able to come in such a short time. I mean, you become friends with Judson Richards, who's on 1360, because of your shared passions, and you had no fucking idea, you know, that you would be meeting people like this. I mean, just last week I had Jim Trotter, Jeff Dotsess, CS Keys here on Fight Night, and they're here because of Twitter. I mean, literally because of Twitter, because I sent out a tweet saying, hey, fight night's coming up. Now that's our crew. That's how we roll on fight night. And, those are the amazing things that happen as a result of those bleeding eyeballs and those 21-hour days. But those are the things that we love to do. And those are the benefits of, of owning a business.
Totally.
So where can people find you? What's the best? Instagram, Wheat and Water?
Yeah.
Wheat ampersand water?
Wheat ampersand water. Yeah, you can.
Loving my ampersand.
I just learned what ampersand was like 8 months ago. Now I think I'm fucking Albert Einstein. All right, that's it. Like, the and symbol?
Ampersand.
Like, dude, it's ampersand. You fucking Neanderthal.
That might be the name of my son, Ampersand.
There you go.
And if Emoji Sunglasses doesn't
When's he coming out?
He could be anytime. We could end this podcast early.
I would imagine
if I get a double phone call, that means it's go time.
Low and slow.
Yeah. We'll see. It's an exciting time.
So stoked for you, buddy. That's rad.
Yeah, very excited.
I want one. Do you have any kids?
I have two. I have two young boys. Yeah,
2 boys.
3 and 1.5.
Yeah,
so
badass.
It's exciting, man. They're great. My wife's great. She holds it down.
Congratulations.
It's an exciting part, and hopefully it's something that we can build that they want to be a part of later in life. So
yeah.
Hopefully have the example for them.
Free labor.
Well, Ted, we can't thank you enough for coming out here and finding us out in East County.
Right.
I'm not scared. I love it out here. I'm honestly so honored to come out here and obviously always chop it up with you, Sean, growing together. And
you if there's one thing you're gonna get fucking brutal honesty from me. I'm not gonna bullshit you. I'm gonna only tell. A true friend is going to tell you the things that are uncomfortable in life. Yep. I think that's why Derek and I get along so well. He'll tell me I'm full of shit. He'll call my bullshit. No problem.
Oh yeah, and I love getting out of my truck and getting yelled. Yeah, no fucking surf out here, cool.
Yeah,
keep them humble.
So Wheat and Water. Check them out online. Check out their Instagram. Ted is going to start a Twitter account, so we're going to start tweeting at him.
What is it? La Pizza?
La Pizza.
La Pizza. But yeah, be sure to go down to Bird Rock. Be sure to stop in, say what's up to Ted, let him know you heard him on the podcast, and be sure to go to iTunes and write us a review. Let us know how you like the podcast, what else you want us to talk about, anything that's helpful, not helpful. Tell us to go fuck off if you don't like what we're saying.
Love it.
At the end of the day, we're honored to do this. This shit is really, really exciting for us. So barbecue war stories, tell your friends, and be sure to tune in. Hopefully we can bring another podcast maybe from the hospital.
Yeah.
See how my wife likes that.
Yeah, I got my wife calling me right now.
Yeah, Ted, can't thank you enough, my man. Wheat and Water, La Jolla, check them out, and
go check it out, man.
Tune in next week.
Yeah, boys.